Hey guys, welcome to the Team Jonesin for Fitness call. Woo woo!
I just woke up. I think I was supposed to say something.
Okay, so today we're just going to go over a few things. I just want you to know that no matter what, whether you're a brand new coach or you've been a coach for a while, this business takes a little bit of work and time, and if you put in the effort, you will see results. I know sometimes it's easy to get discouraged if you're not really getting anywhere. So we're just going to kind of go back to the basics this morning and talk about the 3 vital behaviors of a Beachbody coach. So Travis is going to tell us what those are.
Invite, invite, invite. Be proof the product works, and personal development.
Okay, so let's start with be proof that the product works. So here we are, right here, drinking our Shakeology.
For real.
Yeah, for real we are. We drink it every day, and we do our workouts. We put in some time and effort, and we're actually sharing that with other people. You can be proof the product works all you want, but if you're not putting it out there and sharing that, then sorry about that. That's a little better. Can you? Yeah. Sorry, just a few technical difficulties, which is just real life. So yeah, you have to be using the products and sharing that with other people. If you're not sharing it, no one's ever going to know what you're doing. So that goes along with posting stuff on your page, getting it out there, everything. I mean, I go ahead.
Your challenge groups. If you're doing your challenge groups, I mean, you make the free challenge groups, and you cheer everybody on. That's great. But also, I mean, you want people to be interested in what you're doing. So you're posting that, hey, and just did Insanity and it was awesome, or just finished 21-day fix, or here's my meal that I got from the 21-day fix menu, things like that. I mean, that goes a long way to piquing other people's interest who may or may not have any idea what you're doing, or what they should be doing, or what they want to do.
Yeah, so, and we all know that these products, they work. I mean, we know that they work because you've seen the results yourself. We are continually seeing results, and so you need to be sharing that with other people. So moving on to invite. You need to be inviting people into your world, into a challenge group, and into the business opportunity. So having a hard time. It's too early for me.
Inviting people is probably the most difficult thing for me. I'm a guy, and mostly I have females that I'm talking to, because guys just aren't gonna get on Facebook and be like, oh, Travis, yeah, tell me all about what you're doing. I loved your result pics. So it's out of my comfort zone a lot of the times, but that's what you have to do. I mean, you strike up a conversation with someone, and it's just as easy as striking it up on the street. You're talking to somebody, you're just sharing some information, and you're not vomiting on them. That's the important part, because they're just gonna back away, and they're gonna be like, I don't want to talk to you. I don't want what you're selling. You need to give them a reason to be talking to you. You're, say, oh, well, yeah, I just started my own fitness business, and so on and so forth, and just kind of leave that out there, and maybe they'll come back to it, maybe they won't, but you just have to have that conversation.
And, on top of that, that really kind of reiterates the whole sharing aspect of this. I mean, you cannot lead with selling. I'll say that a gazillion times. You have to just share what you're doing. and actually invite people to do it with you. And it's not, you have to lead with the intention to actually help people. Ranger's helping us out this morning. If you lead with the intention to just share and to help people reach their goals and invite them continually, I mean, sometimes people are going to say no 10 times before they say yes. You have to keep following up with people. You have to keep having conversations with people. And, you know, I mean, you're going to see success if you continue to do that. So moving on to personal development. You guys, this is really key, and that's why it's one of the vital behaviors. I'm a completely different person today than I was 2 years ago. I mean, I'm a better person than I was, because you have to be continually learning. You have to be working on yourself. I mean, if you had told me a couple years ago that I would be putting myself on stage in a bikini, I never would have believed you, because I didn't have the inner confidence to do something like that. So you have to work on yourself and really grow as a person. And that is just something that comes naturally if you're reading personal development. And along with that, the team hardcore trainings and the National Wake Up Call, all the stuff in the Coach Online office, if you can do some of that stuff, I mean, the more you learn, the easier this is going to be. So sorry, that was kind of scary what happened. So, what's that?
Somebody's on.
I see that.
Best new to technology. It's very scary.
Well, I mean, Travis is really the person who takes care of all this stuff, and that's just all there is to it. So, yeah.
Morning.
Let's just mute that. Okay. Okay, so anyway, so those are the 3 vital behaviors, and if you're doing those every day, then you're going to see success. However, there is a little checklist that I have that I want you to ask yourself if you're doing these things. Even if you I mean, you can be going through the motions, but if you're missing these vital things, then you're not going to see success. So I'd love for you to just write these down and ask yourself every day if you're doing these. And if you're not, then it's not a big deal. Just start now. Start today. Okay, so number 1 is keep a positive attitude and believe in yourself. There are so many times that, you know, it's easy to say, I'm not doing something right. Nobody responded to my challenge group. You know, something is going wrong. I just suck at this. You don't. You have to keep trying something new. You have to, every failure that you have is just an opportunity to learn. So you have to take that and learn from it and try something else. And just have that unwavering belief in yourself and belief in the products that you are promoting and belief in this business opportunity to keep going. You just have to tweak things and move forward. So just keep a positive attitude and lead with the right intentions, and you're gonna come out successful. I promise you that. I promise. Okay, so listen to the National Wake Up Call on Monday and the Team Hardcore trainings on Thursday. They're both recorded, so if you can't get on live, then listen to the recordings. The trainings, you've got top coaches on both of these calls. And every time, repetition is really key to this. We were just having a conversation about this the other day, that Travis is like, oh yeah, I've heard all that before. Sometimes, like, I've listened to things and learned things when I was first started coaching, and they didn't click with me because I didn't fully understand something about it. So every day and every recording that I listen to, I always take something from it. and it keeps me motivated, and it keeps me trying different things. So learn from the leaders in this business, and that's it.
If you have to set aside time and you don't have enough time, I guess I would say listen to the hardcore call versus the national wake up call. Just because they have a lot of recognition and things like that going on in a national wake up call, and you kind of got to burn through that, especially if you listen to it live. And that's great. No, I mean, I love that Beachbody actually recognizes their people and their success. But Team Hardcore Call will go right into the meat and potatoes of what they're doing for the training. So if you have a limited amount of time, that's what I would suggest to do.
I do agree with that. I agree with that. Okay, so post an average of 3 times a day. You have to be putting yourself out there, and your posts need to be engaging. People want to get something from them. They're not going to want to continue to follow you if you're not giving them any reason to follow you. So you want to either come up with some solution or have something that's inspirational or humor. I mean, you have to be able to share a little bit about yourself to get people to like you and trust you and want to do one of your challenge groups. So
you need somebody to get something out of your page. Like, I know we got a few cooks in our coach group. I mean, you have some good recipes. I mean, post a picture of that food and, share the recipe with it. That'll open up a conversation to a lot of people. I mean, people like food, and they'll talk about it. Or, if it doesn't even need to be fitness related. If you have a solution to something, I mean, make a video about it, or, make a post about it. Just anything to engage people's interest. But the most important part of that is being yourself, because if you pretend to be somebody you aren't, or work too hard to make some sort of image that you think is better, you're going to lose interest, because people will see through that.
Right.
You are who you are, and people aren't engaged with that, then move on and find somebody else.
Right.
That's what they're going to do.
And, I mean, really and honestly, you don't want to be with those people who don't click with you. I mean, you don't want to pretend that you're somebody you're not, because you're never going to have that true connection with people that you're looking for. And that is what this is all about. It's about connecting with somebody on a deeper level. I mean, you can get someone into your challenge group and say, yes, do this, do this. But if you can actually befriend them and actually care about the outcome and their lives, I mean, that's really the heart and core of what coaching is all about. So, and going along with what you're posting on your page, you do want to present yourself as a business professional. I mean, it's so hard to put into words. But, think about what you're putting out to other people and who you want to attract. And that, I mean, you're going to find out when you post something on your page, there are certain things that are going to get a lot of likes and comments and interactions, and that's what we're all hoping for. And there's going to be posts that just plain don't do well. So you have to pay attention to those and post more of the things that are doing well, what people like. I mean, you'll be known as that person after that.
Watch the times that you're posting as well, because that's a lot. That's important. On your like pages, you'll be able to see that. See when people respond, when people are on Facebook. Everybody has a certain time when their friends and people that watch their page are on. So that'll help you.
Okay, moving on, you need to be adding 2 to 3 people to your network every day. That's kind of a tough thing to learn how to do, but it does go along with the stuff that you're posting on your page. And it's like, if you need to be presenting opportunities for people to interact with you. So you should be hosting at least 1 monthly challenge group. And another great way is to do like the 30-day tank top arms group, stuff like that, that gets a lot of people into kind of your world, and it allows them an opportunity to be in a private group with you and with no commitment. And they don't have to sign up for anything. All they have to do is show up. You post the daily workout, and they kind of get to know you and what you're all about. So that's a really good idea. I think actually I'm going to do one this month. I haven't done one in a few months, but that always brings new people into my world. And after they've done that with me, then I'll have a conversation with them and invite them into one of my actual challenge groups where we go a little deeper and I help them work specifically towards their goals. So another good example would be like a 5-day clean eating challenge or something like that. We've done the Shakeology 5-day challenges. That's been really great for us. So,
and we have all these templates. I mean, they're all available. If it's not uploaded or whatever, and you're thinking about doing something, just message us and say, hey, do you have something for this? Because we're not about reinventing the wheel. If we have the information and we have something set up that we can give you that will save you time, we're happy to do so. So keep that in mind when you're doing that. And also on those 30-day groups, I mean, they're great. You can even get it scheduled. So it schedules a post, at 4 o'clock in the morning. You don't have to worry about it. You can go in there whenever you feel like that day and like their post, comment a few things, and you will begin to get that relationship with that person. And then you can segue them, like Beth said, into a challenge group afterwards and say, hey, bring your friends.
Right.
So that's the important part is, you talk to one person and that may bring you 5.
Yep. And don't be afraid to ask people to bring a friend. I mean, don't be afraid to ask for referrals, because people trust their friends. And, that's the whole idea when, on your page, you want people to like and get to know you and trust you. So you're sharing information about yourself. But if somebody knows someone else, that's going to go so much further. So that's a really good idea. All right, so here's the other thing. You guys, you are going to make commission on anything you sell, that. But the real key to this business comes by building a team of your own. So you have to be presenting the business opportunity to 3 to 5 people a week. And let me tell you something, that is probably the most uncomfortable thing for me to do, because I feel like I'm going to get some sort of personal gain from it. Just like it's hard for me, like I want you guys to all be successful in this business because, we've dragged you into this. We haven't dragged you into this, but, if we're going to have success if you guys are successful. So a little part of me in the back of my head always thinks, that you might think that that's the motivation behind us wanting you to be successful, which is totally untrue. So I just have to keep reminding myself of that. I mean, just like when challengers come in, of course, you want them to buy something because you know that the products work. But you just have to keep that in your head that you truly want these people to be successful, just like we truly want you to be successful. So introducing the business opportunity, that's exactly what it is. It's an opportunity. Like, this has changed our lives, so we're sharing that with other people. So the sooner you can kind of get comfortable with that, the easier it will become. And when it comes to presenting the business opportunity, like, that's a big commitment for people to make. So you have to just remember that you're planting seeds and you're asking them, have you ever considered? And the only reason you're asking them is because either you see something in them that you think they'd make a great coach, or you've heard something from them in a conversation that makes you say, well, have you ever considered becoming a coach to help with this? Maybe it's just to get a discount on Shakeology, or maybe it's because they are struggling financially. I mean, there's a million different reasons to do it, but you have to have a reason to do it. So you just, and the key to this is really talking to people daily. I mean, private messages is where everything happens. The magic doesn't happen, over a post on Facebook. You have to actually get to know these people and know what their goals are and their wants and their needs. And, you're befriending them. You're establishing a friendship with them. And so that's how it works.
A couple things on that. I'd say when you have somebody that you're considering for coaching and approaching them, chances are they haven't noticed these qualities that they have. They haven't, looked and said, oh, well, geez, I think I'd be a good coach. You have to point these things out and look, you're doing exactly what I'm doing. You're cheering people on, you're posting in the group, you're excited about, the program you're doing. You love Shakeology, all these things. And it's, that's really the basics for any coach is, basically they're inviting or they're starting up conversations because they're posting in a group and cheering people on. They're being proof that a product works. And, the personal development part, that kind of comes as you go along. But, if you recognize these qualities, don't be surprised if they're like, what? Because chances are they don't think of it that way. And the other good thing about this and how I don't, feel bad by introducing this opportunity to anybody is the fact that Beachbody makes it very possible for anybody to surpass someone above them. So
right.
Just because you're my downline coach or best downline coach, you can shoot past us any day by building your own business. So it is yours. It's yours to build. Yes, we want a large, strong team, but it's what you decide to make of it for yourself and going forward.
And on that note, like if you do surpass us, that will give us motivation to push harder. I thought you were flicking them off. Mm-hmm. That in a challenge group, you see somebody who has awesome results and you're like, whoa, that's awesome. I'm going to push harder because I want those results. So that's what it's all about. It's about inspiring. And that's why I think that it's so important for our team to kind of share our success and share ideas with each other, because we don't have it all figured out. I mean, what we're sharing with you is just from our experience so far. If you have a great idea, we'd love it. We'd love you to share that with us because,
something worked for you in the challenge group, something, just clicked in talking to someone and it really got a good reaction. Absolutely. I mean, that's what the Jonesin for Fitness coach group is for. I'd love to see some interaction for, hey, I tried this, or I did this. This is what my challenge group was, or I did a 30-day this. Any of that information is great, and put it up in there. I mean, that group is all our coaches. That's where we can share that information, and it doesn't need to be a one-way street where we're just posting something. And I get some people are frustrated, and some people have some things where they feel like they're backpedaling. So yes, we can chat in there and try and work things out. Maybe somebody has a solution to what's going on. And I will tell you that there is no answer for why my business didn't take off in 30 days, because it won't. It just doesn't work like that. And unless you're, maybe Janelle, then, you have some serious backing right there. I mean, she's a celebrity. She's on fitness videos. Yes, people are flocking to her for information, for help, and, support and inspiration. But you know what? They're coming to Beth too. Yeah, maybe, they come to me sometimes, but I mean, it was funny, just the other day, she actually got recognized at, her friend's spa, which is like an hour away.
Yes, it was like the best day of my life.
She had walked out and then later on talked to Cassie, who did her makeup at the pageant, had told her, another girl had come in and she's like, was that fit with Beth?
I was like, shut up, that didn't happen.
So, I mean, it's what, been 2 years since you started coaching?
Yeah.
So, I mean, that will happen. I mean, it's bound to happen because you talk to so many people. I mean, we have coaches as far as Arizona. So, it's going to happen for you. It is, sometimes a slow process when you start, but it is what you make of it. So it's what you put into it and what you're going to get back.
And there are times, like, I've always been very consistent with posting on my page and doing challenge groups, but there are times that my heart just isn't in it for whatever reason. Sometimes we've got a lot going on personally, and while I'm consistent on my page and stuff, I'm really not working the business, I guess you could say. And those times I see, in my commissions, they drop. And the minute that I engage again and I really dig in and decide, okay, I'm going to go for it this month, I mean, they skyrocket. And I'm at the point where I have a very good base, and I have a core group of people. My page, generally does well. And I have the afterburn, which is like my core people who have been with me for a long time now. And so when I really engage, then those people who have been with me this whole time, they engage with me. So the more you put into it, the more you definitely get out of it. But, you have to put time in. That's all there is to it. You have to put time in if you want to be successful. Just like if you want to be successful with your fitness, that if you eat oatmeal cream pies, you're probably not going to see the results that you want, even though they're really good. It does feel good to be lazy sometimes. Challenge groups are a lot of work. Right now we have 3 going on. It takes a lot of our effort to do that, but if we really do have to focus together on teamwork, which really, if you can find a person to run groups with you, even within our coach group,
absolutely,
to team up with somebody else to do it and share some of the responsibility is pretty huge. Because not every night I want to check in with the groups and I'll say to Travis, like, oh, I just can't do it tonight. I mean, you just aren't in the mood sometimes, so then he'll pick up the slack that time. So it really does help to have a success partner.
Yeah. And the other thing that I think she just hit on there is the challenge groups. The thing that I think is really important is pick your time. You're going to check in at 8 o'clock at night or 7 well, probably not 7 a.m. I mean, I guess you could check in for the previous day, but don't be in there like all day making them think that you're available 24/7, because you're going to go nuts. It's just going to drive you crazy. So pick your time, go in there. I mean, if you have, if it's twice a day, great, but don't get stuck in there forever. Don't end up scrolling your news feed or, whatever. I mean, I've gone to the point of, to being a social network junkie on some points in time, to like taking my phone and throwing it in the other room because I don't even want to see Facebook. Yeah. So if you pick your times and manage that time correctly, you can just set it down and walk away, and don't be attached to that 24/7, because that will drive you nuts and it will burn you off.
Right. And with the same thing, like, you need to set some time aside at least once a day to go into your challenge groups, but you also need to set time aside to build your business. So that time management is pretty huge, and you can accomplish so much in an hour. I wake up every day at 4:45 and I go in and check, I go in and check in on all my groups, do my post for the morning, and figure out what I'm going to do that day. So if you can get that time management down, then, because you don't want to be working all the time. And it's easy to do. It's really easy to get sucked into it. And, we struggled, especially when we first started coaching, because we'd be like on our phones all the time and not connecting, not being with our kids. And so it's very easy to do that. And you have to say, okay, this is it. This is you. If you have a plan, then it works. Then it works.
I think the Power Hour is posted, and that's our
Yeah.
banner on the Jonesin for Fitness group. So take a look at that. If follow that Power Hour, you can get a lot done in that hour. If you have the extra hour, then go on to that one as well. But you know, as your business grows, then it'll become more important to you, following all the steps through. But really, it doesn't take me a lot of time to go through even 3 groups.
Yeah.
As long as that's what I do. I click into the group and I go down through and I see what's going on and I click over the next group. Yeah. If I switch over the news feed, then we got a problem.
Yeah. Well, and too, like if we both can't be in the same group at the same time, because then we keep getting all these notifications and we could be in that group forever, you know, just going back and forth between people's posts. So it really, you know, you just have to figure out what works for you and do it and make it happen. So let's see, we need to wrap this up, but I guess the last thing I want to say is that you need to recognize that this is a business. That, you know, if you treat this as a hobby, then that's all it's going to be. If you really want to be successful in this, you have to really treat it as a business. You know, one of the bad things I think about this, not bad, but you only paid $40 to become a coach, and that's nothing if you bought a challenge pack, or if you're a veteran coach, but it kind of, because it's so inexpensive, you haven't invested a lot in it. So it's very easy to treat this like a hobby. And, you know, there's never any pressure from us. You work the business how you want to, but if you really want to be successful, that means that you have to treat it as a business, not as a hobby. You have to be doing all the things that we've just kind of gone over. You have to be doing them on a consistent basis. And you have to be tracking all of this stuff, because if you're not tracking, you know, who you're talking to, and I can tell you that when I first started, I wasn't tracking people because I'm like, I'm going to remember that. And I don't. Because as your business grows and you come into contact with more people, you're not going to remember them, even if you think you are, because I'm like, I'll never forget these people. Well, you will, just because. Go ahead.
Well, I was just going to say, you know, we'll have the conversation. Oh, I just talked to Kelly. I'm like, oh, Kelly Smith? No. Kelly Jones? No.
Yeah.
So it'll get to the point to where, right now, maybe you're talking to a few people, maybe you're talking to 10, 15, but there'll come a time to when you're like, now, was that the person that had the bad back and you're trying to tell them about Insanity Max and how great it is for them? I mean, you don't want to do that. That's not a genuine connection. So that's why it's important to keep at least some sort of notes on the people that you're talking with, so you can make that connection. It's not bad that you have to keep the notes to know about this person. I mean, it's just good business.
And you know what? It's a good thing. Like when I go into the doctor every year and he asked me something that he couldn't possibly remember, it's like, how did he know that? Well, you know what? They write it down when they talk to you. They make notes about what you've talked about in your personal life, and that makes me feel special, actually. And it actually took me a long time to figure out that they must be writing that down, because I'm like, how does he remember that? So, and it's a good thing to know that you're talking to so many people and helping so many people that you have to refer to your notes, because there are like so many people in our lives, and it's not that they're forgettable or anything like that. It's just that there's so many. So it's hard. I mean, I can't remember what I ate yesterday unless I write it down. So, you know, it's just smart business. And the other thing too that you have to be doing is following up with people. So all those people, I'm tracking them, and I might, you know, after they finish a challenge, I might not have heard from them, you know, for a couple months. So I send them a message and say, hey, how's it going? Because I actually care how it is going. And a lot of times I've had people say to me, oh, I've really been off track, but since you messaged me, I'm going to get back into it. They know that I care. So you have to be following up too with people that you've talked to about the business opportunity. And, the key is in follow-ups, because people aren't going to make a decision the first time you talk to them. So don't be afraid of that.
All right.
So that's it.
Yeah. And we have somebody on, so we'll unmute you.
You are unmuted.
Hi, guys.
Hey, who is it?
It's Sarah.
Hey,
Hey,
Sarah.
Sarah.
Hey, Sarah. Are you getting a lot of feedback?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. Oh, that's bad. But when you were muted, was it bad?
No, it was good, actually, because I have 4 sick kids screaming all around me, so.
Well, I didn't know. Do you have anything that you wanted to ask?
I think we're better off talking tomorrow if we're still on, because my husband's not here and they're all sick and it's kind of crazy right now. So, but I loved listening to you guys. That was awesome. I'm finally making my my separate Facebook page, which I think is important. And I don't know.
Yeah.
Good.
Well, that sounds good. Yeah, we're definitely on for a call tomorrow. I'll talk to you at 11.
Okay, great. All right, good. So I will be alone and ready to talk.
All right.
Sounds good. All right. Thanks.
All right. Thanks a lot, guys.
All right. Bye-bye.
Bye.
Bye-bye.
All right. So that's it. We're going to wrap it up and stop the recording, and hopefully it works.